All right, in this video, I'm gonna jump straight to the unboxing because it's the same day, carrying the same knife. This knife here is from Derek Bond Distributing. I also changed the lighting up. I noticed in the last one with the overhead light on, it caused a little bit of a glare, so I just have the window open. So, in here, I'm sure you can guess what this is. It is a Lincoln Jack. It is a Lincoln Jack in burlap micarta. Let's see what else is in here. I did get a sticker, and that is all. There's an invoice, but that's it. So I'm gonna go straight to the knife. Here's a coin. I can't tell you how many of these coins I have. I appreciate him throwing them in, but they're starting to stack up. All right, slip as well. I'm not a slip guy. I do keep these around in case I sell a knife, or sometimes friends want to slip. I don't use the slip, especially for knives like this. He has the one slip that is for every knife, and I don't know if you can see the bulge there. The knife only covers from here to here. The little bay came in the same slip, and it was probably only this much of the slip here. So that's one issue I have with it. But anyhow, on to the knife. Now, if you remember, the last time I got one of these knives, the fit and finish wasn't that great, and I really, I showed you guys on camera. They gave me a $20 credit, which I'm okay with. I thought that was sufficient. You know, I did buy 2 little bays, and I got a credit of $20. So, you know, you form your own opinion on that, but at least I thought the gesture was enough. So I'm interested to see. I've heard that the fit and finish on these knives is just as good as the 15s that just came out, which were the ebony SFO, the red jig bone SFO, and then the micarta blade forms knives. All those were built on the 15 pattern. So this knife here is built on the 15 pattern, as I just alluded to. It's burlap micarta. I don't know what that is on my hand. Anyhow, burlap micarta, matte finish. You can see there bolsters, the shield, arrowhead shield, the handles covers. The back doesn't look like, maybe over here there's a little gap, but it looks pretty solid. Pretty solid so far. Looks like the covers go all the way up. They meet at the top. Doesn't look like there's really any gap there. Feels good. The transition from the bolster to the cover. Yeah, I really don't see any gaps. And the reason why I'm looking this knife over so closely is because, like I said, my last one, my last Northwoods was not quite the best. You can see here, it looks like the blade is pretty well centered. Let's see. Looks like it's a little bit to this side, but it's much better than my little bay was. There you go. You can see there. It's favoring this side a little bit, but not awful. Again, I see a lot of people struggling opening these knives up. I don't know. I mean, the pull is nice and stout. It's harder than a regular 15, more firm than a regular 15, but I don't feel like it's a nail breaker. So you can see there that rustic finish at the top, the heat treat scale, the satin finished secondary grind, and then the edge itself is pretty sharp. Now, what I like is the profile of this clip point blade. I think that's very, very, very a very good looking blade. All in all, I have to say I'm pretty happy. One thing I think I know what the answer would be. This knife costs, I think, $140 if I'm not mistaken. Let me get my invoice out. This knife, if I'm not mistaken, it cost $140. However, okay, there's no price on here. All right, I'm pretty sure it was $140. But my little bay in burlap micarta was $160 or $170. Now the little bay was this big, and this knife is larger. Now I know that the bolster was different on the little bay, so it was a newer knife, newer design bolster, so they had to do some retooling and some things. So I'm sure that would be the answer, but this was 140, and the burlap little bay, like I said, it was. I'm pretty certain it was 160. I think it was 160. So again, just a note from me. Take it for what you want to take it for. Like I said, centering's not perfect, but I think it's better than my little bay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to cut the camera in a second and go pick up the little bay, and I'll show them side by side. But a good knife. I would say that the pull is probably about a 6. It's a lot firmer, or it's more firm, noticeably more firm than a regular 15, a GEC 15. But I like it. Good knife. All in all, this is a knife that I think I'm going to keep. I do think I'm going to flush this pivot though. I don't know if you can hear that. The close to the, from half stop to close is a little bit sluggish, and it doesn't quite snap shut. I'm going to go grab the little bay, and I'll show you the little bay next to the Lincoln Jack. Okay, I'm back. This is my little bay that I was talking about, and you can see here how badly the centering is off on this knife. I mean, there's really no comparison between this knife and, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just as badly off, but in the opposite direction. I don't know. You guys be the judge on that. This knife, that was one of my complaints about these, is I didn't think the fit and finish was quite up to the cost, especially considering that this knife here, like I said, was a $160 knife. Not to say that this isn't $140 and it shouldn't be built equally as well, but you know, this one was a little bit cheaper. You can see both of these have that burlap micarta. Both of them have the matte finish bolsters. Just a nice workhorse type knife. Both of these are clip point blades. I would say that the pull on the little bay is probably equal to the Lincoln Jack. You can see the profiles are pretty similar. This is more of a stubby version of this blade here, but they're pretty similar. That tip turns up. You can see the difference in length there. Just two decent knives. All in all, I'm happy. I wouldn't mind. I do have a red linen micarta Hawthorne Jack. If you have a burlap micarta Hawthorne Jack clip point, and you wouldn't mind trading it, maybe trading it plus a little bit of money for the red linen Hawthorne, I would love to have all three of these in the same cover. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks, and I'll catch you in the next video.